morning, Evan here. Today is Friday, February 26th. So last week I gave you a riddle. It was, what has 4 legs but only 1 foot? And the answer is, a bed. Here's today's riddle of the day. What gets darker the more you clean it? Tune in next week for the answer.
Next week is Classified Employees Week. We would like to recognize our custodians and paraeducators here at Thurgood Marshall. We want to thank our custodians who have been working really hard to make sure that our building is safe and clean for all students and staff during this pandemic. We also want to thank all our paraeducators who have been in our classrooms assisting us and our teachers in providing support both personally and academically. Take some time to thank them individually with a note, in chat, or in person, and let them know how special they are to us.
Did you know that the Chinese New Year is the most important holiday in China and in many other Asian countries? This 3-week to even a month-long celebration is tied to the Chinese lunar calendar and is often referred to as the Lunar New Year. This year, 2021, the Lunar New Year began on February 12th. It is seen as a time to honor household and heavenly deities as well as ancestors. It is also a time to bring family together for feasting. The traditional Chinese New Year is the most important festival on the calendar. The entire attention is fixed on this celebration. During this time, business life comes nearly to a stop. Home and family are the principal focuses. The Chinese calendar also included the Chinese zodiac, which is the cycle of the 12 stations or signs along the path of the sun through the cosmos. Each New Year was marked by the characteristics of one of the 12 zodiac animals: the rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, sheep, monkey, rooster, dog, and pig. 2021 is the year of the ox. In preparation for the holiday, houses are thoroughly cleaned to rid them of hui qi, or inauspicious breaths, which might have collected during the old year. Ritual sacrifices of food and paper icons are offered to the gods and ancestors. People post scrolls printed with lucky messages on household gates and set off firecrackers to frighten away evil spirits. Elders give out money to children. In fact, many of the rites carried out during this period are meant to bring good luck into the household and long life to the family. Did you know that Chinese dumplings known as jiaozi and longevity noodles are eaten during this celebration to promote long life and happiness? Even your wardrobe will dictate whether you will be lucky and auspicious or not. Red represents fortune and happiness, gold represents wealth, and people rarely wear black and white during this time because they are colors of death and funerals. So just how big of a celebration is the Lunar New Year worldwide? Like we said earlier, more than just China and Chinese people celebrate the Lunar New Year. The Lunar New Year is also celebrated in Vietnam, North and South Korea, Japan, the Philippines, England, Australia, and the US, and many more. Yes, it is one of the biggest celebrations in the world. If it wasn't for COVID, Chinatowns like Seattle's International District throw huge celebrations with parades, lion dances, dragon dances, lantern statues, fireworks, and amazing food. Make sure to check it out next year when we can hopefully celebrate in person.
Hi, I'm Kendall McSwain, the ASB president. We are into our 3rd week of semester 2, and we want to remind you of some Zoom expectations. Number 1, mute yourself when you're not talking. We can hear the dog barking in the background. 2, keep your video on when possible. Teachers want to see your beautiful face. 3, be on time. We are in school after all. 4, come to class prepared. Again, we are in school. 5, first and last name should be displayed on the screen. It's a part of your identity and you matter. 6, log in through the portal each day. This will make sure that you will be connected and attendance will be taken.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Long and I'm your ASB secretary. Let's continue the Zoom expectations. Number 7, no distracting backgrounds. A nice lovely color or landscape is so calming. Number 8, participate and stay engaged. Your ideas and opinions are important. Number 9, no food or drinks. I know it's tempting, but we have lots of breaks. Number 10, limit chatting. Make sure it's relevant to whatever your class is discussing. Number 11, find a quiet place to work. No TV, no siblings, and distracting animals. Number 12, be respectful, accept differences, be nice, and participate.
Thanks, Kendall and Caitlin. We were just reminded about Zoom expectations, but just in case you weren't aware, our teachers are using Securely to monitor our students on their Chromebooks. They know when we're not participating or if you're on a different site that has nothing to do with class. So remember to be responsible, respectful, and engaged in class.
Now, let's watch another episode from the Cornwall Connection.
Good morning, Thurgood Marshall Mustangs. I'm Clementine Sampson and welcome back to the Cornwall Connection. Today we are honoring the man that our school is named after, Thurgood Marshall.
Thurgood Marshall was born Thurgood Marshall on July 2nd, 1908 in Baltimore, Maryland. His friends often made fun of his name, so at the age of 6, he had it legally changed to Thurgood. Marshall's mother was a kindergarten teacher, and his father was an amateur rider who worked as a dining car waiter on a railroad. On his days off, Thurgood's father would take his son to court so they could watch the legal procedures and the arguments presented. Afterward, they would debate legal issues, and Thurgood's father would challenge them to prove their case.
Growing up in Baltimore had its challenges of racial discrimination that forged Thurgood Marshall's passion for civil rights. The city had a death rate for African Americans that was 2 times more the death rate of white people, and due to school segregation laws, Marshall was forced to go to an all-black grade school. Once his parents earned enough money, they moved to a nicer neighborhood where Marshall was able to attend a prestigious high school. Marshall's more formal introduction to law came when the school's principal made him read the U.S. Constitution as a punishment for a prank he pulled.
Marshall actually liked to read the Constitution, particularly Article 3 in the Bill of Rights. Article 3 established the judicial branch of government and a Bill of Rights that all American citizens are supposed to enjoy. Thurgood Marshall realized that not all Americans, especially African Americans, enjoy the same freedom, so he decided to get education that would equip him to change this. After graduating high school in 1925, Marshall attended the all-black Lincoln University, and after being rejected from the University of Maryland School of Law because of his race, he went on to attend law school at Howard University, where he graduated first in his class.
During his time at Howard University, Thurgood Marshall had many mentors who introduced him to the NAACP. He would often attend meetings with these mentors to watch lawyers discuss crucial social issues. Marshall also met Charles Hamilton Houston, the vice dean of Howard Law School, who became one of his most esteemed mentors and who taught Marshall to defeat racial discrimination through the use of existing laws.
Thurgood Marshall graduated from Howard University Law School in 1933 and moved back to Baltimore to start his own practice and open a law office. Few people came to him for help, and even though they were not able to pay for his services, Marshall still helped them. He took on cases dealing with police brutality, evictions, and cruel landlords, and his name gained notice. He started working for bigger clients such as building associations and corporations. Marshall started to volunteer at the NAACP, and he soon became one of the attorneys. In 1936, he worked alongside his mentor Charles Hamilton Houston to win his first case, Murray versus Maryland, a case arguing that the University of Maryland should admit African American students.
Thurgood Marshall became the special counsel for New York for the NAACP in 1938. At this time, he traveled to the South to investigate lynchings, the denial of voting rights, and to fight for fair trials for African Americans. The work that he accomplished made him the face of the NAACP, and in 1940 he was hired as the special counsel for the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund. He was now able to work toward his goal of challenging segregation in education. In 1950, Thurgood Marshall argued the cases Sweatby Painter and McLaurin versus the Oklahoma Board of Regents of Higher Education. Both of these cases successfully challenged the separate but equal principle of racial segregation and were influential in the landmark Supreme Court case Brown versus the Board of Education just years later.
Thurgood Marshall argued the case Brown v. Board of Education of Topeka from 1952 to 1954. In this landmark decision, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the U.S. state laws enforcing racial segregation in public schools are unconstitutional, even if the segregated schools are otherwise equal in equality. After Brown, Marshall argued many more court cases in support of civil rights. In 1961, President John F. Kennedy appointed him to the U.S. Court of Appeals, and in 1965, he was appointed to the Postal Solicitor General by President Lyndon Johnson. Finally, in 1967, Thurgood Marshall was the first black justice to serve the highest court of the United States. Marshall continued to strive to protect the rights of all citizens, until he retired from the court in 1991. Thurgood Marshall died on January 24, 1993, leaving behind a legacy of fighting for individual rights and equality.
You probably just call this school Marshall, but its proper name is Thurgood Marshall Middle School. It's important to know the story behind the name and the person behind the story. Because of Thurgood Marshall, we have equal and desegregated schools. Not only did he help win the Brown versus Board of Education case, but he was also the first black person to serve on the Supreme Court. If you would like to learn more about him, you can watch Separate but Equal, a biopic about the Brown versus Board of Education case, which is available on Netflix.
Black History Month is coming to a close. Now we turn to our feelings about Black History Month. I feel like Black History Month this year went well, but also bad at the same time. I don't feel like anything really changed. Some good things were I had the pleasure of being part of the Cornwall Connection to inform people about Black History Month, the Black Lives Matter movement, and even learn things that I didn't know about being a person of color. But at the same time, I feel like this month puts an even bigger target on Black people's backs. To me, Black History Month brings out more racist killings and discrimination towards Black people. I feel more stressed, scared, and worried for my family, friends, and even myself who are people of color. I also feel frustrated, angry, and infuriated that Black people can never catch a break, whether it's our month or not. This month should be a month where we should feel free because it's supposed to be a time where we can finally be treated like everyone else, but that's not the case. I used to love this month so much, but slowly I'm losing my love for it because of reasons like that.
For me, I've got mixed feelings about it, mainly on why does it only have to be 1 month to highlight people from a specific race. Then again, it's hard to highlight multiple people every time for every month. So I'm glad that there is at least a designated time for multiple races. But I really appreciate that we get to highlight more people from different backgrounds. That's my feelings about Black History Month.
In this week's Teacher Talk, I had the pleasure of interviewing Tom Condon. Here's our interview.
Hey everyone, here's Mr. Condon with Teacher Interviews. All right, Mr. Condon, how long have you been at Marshall?
Let's see, Evan, that's a great question. I've been at Marshall since I think the year 20. I started 2014, 2015, so this is my going on my 7th year, I think, right?
Yeah, I think that sounds right. That's
Yeah.
cool. So, do you like Marshall?
Oh, absolutely. I love Marshall. I couldn't be happier. I love this little brick building on the hill here on the west side of Olympia. The staff here is like a big family of professionals committed to doing good work and building a community with our students. So I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now.
Yeah. All right. What do you like to do when you're not teaching?
When I'm not teaching, well, I like to, my day. If I could spend part of my day outside every day, then I'm a happy person. So I like to be outside, hike, bike, ski when I can, and watch my daughter play soccer, and just to do things outside is things I like to do.
All right. I heard you like skiing. Where do you like to ski?
Well, my favorite place, my home mountain, is White Pass. It's a great mountain. It's like a family mountain, folks. There's no attitudes or people with big egos or anything like that. It's just like a really friendly, happy family mountain where people come down from Olympia and up over the pass from Yakima. You can downhill ski, snowboard, cross-country ski, snowshoe. A game we often like to play is I'm James Bond, you're the bad guy, and you try to catch me, which I don't think you can, Evan.
I'm not a very good skier.
Okay.
If you weren't a teacher, what would you like to do?
If I wasn't a teacher, if I was, like the crystal ball, if I was to do it all over again, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I'd have to say that the field of engineering and science, I think I would have pursued that more if I was to do it over again. I think there's just so many cool opportunities now for students your age, Evan. There's just a broad horizon of opportunities in the STEM fields, and that just fascinates me. It's really our future in terms of giving me hope. So if I was to do it over again, I would consider that.
All right. What's the farthest you've ever been from home?
The farthest ever, well, I've been to Timbuktu and back, if you can believe it. That's actually a place in the world. It's a long way there, and I'll challenge the students to look on the map and see if you can find it. But I'll give you a clue. It's somewhere in Africa, and you have to travel up the Niger River on a pirogue, sitting on salt sacks and dried mangoes for 5 days or so. The challenge is where do you use the bathroom and when? That was kind of a challenge. But traveling up to the Sahara Desert to Timbuktu is as far as I've gone.
Do you have any parting words for our students of Marshall?
Parting words. Well, gosh, let's see. What do you want to hear? Should I talk about green thumb, planting good things, or being true to yourself? What do you think is more important? What do you think that students should hear today, Evan?
It sounds like you like the garden.
Yeah, I certainly do. You got to get your hands dirty. I guess I can leave it with this, Evan, that there's only two things in the world that money can't buy. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You remember what that is?
Tomato.
Yes. True love and homegrown tomatoes.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate your time, and you guys be well. And I really can't. My party message is, we're getting around the corner on this coronavirus thing, and it's a race against time now. Getting everybody, getting the herd immunity with the vaccines in the community, so that we can all safely come back together and be in community again. And I really look forward to that day. So until then, you be well, be safe. Thank you.
Now, celebrating birthdays this week are Maya Allen, Ethan Alston, Dylan Blankenship, Logan Damnon, Tate Gosnell, Sebastian Guzman, Chantel Hilares, Sophia Meyer, Cole Pearson, Brighton Rombach, Angela Smith, Alexa Vargas, Miss Lamia Murphy, and Miss Carrie Dolinsky.
If you're still interested in signing up for the Bridge Music Project, look for an application on the Thurgood Marshall website. Space is limited, so sign up as soon as possible.
Hi, I'm Charlie, a leadership representative. We want to start Spirit Friday, so next Friday is Mug Day. Bring your favorite mug to advisory, and we would love a picture of your class holding up all your favorite mugs. Who knows, it might be in the yearbook. Well, Mustangs, this is another episode of Mustang Message, and I'm Charlie, reminding you to always be compassionate and kind. Have a great weekend.